Thanks. I'm looking at the big words over your heads back there, for us at least, the new economic paradigms. And I wonder if we're giving a little too much credence in some ways to the public arguments that are used to defend the right-wing ideas about the economy and how it functions versus what's really going on underneath. I mean, I was just thinking about what Kelly alluded to briefly. I mean, what our main economic development policies are about giving subsidies to preferred companies, right? Or what Barry was talking about, the sort of the ways that the right wing shifts in the Reagan administration were really about anti-competitiveness rather than increasing competition. And if it underneath it all isn't something much more directly what I guess, you know, this question about worker bargaining power and increasing the power of a different class against the worker class rather than kind of the idea of a more perfectly, efficiently competing competitive market.
Who would like to field that, or is that a comment?
Maybe that's, well, I guess it's if you think that's right, and if it's it may be more of a, I don't know if it's easier, if that makes our task easier or harder to shift. I mean, it's not that I think any of us, or certainly not, is likely to say that what we want is a more perfectly neoliberal functioning model, but just to recognize that there's kind of a level of ideology and argument that's out there that's different than the practice of what's happening, and that we kind of want to shift both the arguments and the underlying paradigm, but also what's the practice that comes from that.
You're saying that despite the neoliberal invocation of competition, the whole neoliberal era, as Barry has suggested, has really undermined that part of the market economy that delivers competition, not to mention all the things that the market doesn't do well.
Well, I think what he's saying is, he's being polite, is that things that we're saying as a group are in tension with each other. The intention, meaning that there might be a conflict between the idea, I think what you characterize as a neoliberal idea of trying to promote perfect competition, and say what I was saying about the need to strengthen worker bargaining power, that these two ideas might not be consistent with each other.
Yeah.
Is that a fair?
Yeah, I guess I think that, sure, I wasn't thinking about it quite that way, but I think that there's the question of ideologies and theories of how the market functions or how our political economy should function, right? And that's one kind of level of argument. And then there's the practicalities of what are we doing. And I think that there's a little bit of a mixture of different things. It's great to have actually the practitioners as well as the theoreticians to bring that out, but it does both what you're saying, I think, is there is some tension there, and I think what I was thinking was more the flip side of that in a way, which is that I think there's lots of tension in between the right-wing practice and the right-wing theory as well.